It's the Intern Hour with John Leslie. Hey, I'm John Leslie. Welcome to the Intern Hour. Are you excited for some rock and roll action? I sure am. Let's get the show on the road, shall we? Enjoy the show.
That's Paul Revere and the Raiders, and I'm Shane Ray. That's going to do it for me on a Monday afternoon. Thank you so much for letting me ride home with you. Coming up next, it is the one, the only, the John Leslie, the Intern Hour from 7 to 8 o'clock. I'm going to wind things up with Edison Lighthouse on 98.9 F.M. and WYRZ.org.
Salutations, rock stars. I was just about to get down and funky with the grooviest disco ball rotation ravers right here on the Intern Hour. Come on in and we'll have ourselves a blast. I'm your host, John Leslie, and that was another crunchy classic from the Rolling Stones. And later, we'll bump and thump along to the magical melodies of Sir Paul McCartney, Starship, and James Brown. But first, make some noise for Jen and Dean on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Push through the slick and sloppy snowscape with a little extra shake, rattle, and roll from the whirring rhythms to the pumping classic rock performances here tonight on the Intern Hour. Time now to put this rock and roll train in traction with another slap on the bass single from Sir Paul McCartney coming up on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That was Glenn Campbell, and I'm John Leslie. Bring your preschooler to the Indianapolis Public Library for some fun and stimulating programs in February. They'll learn about amphibians, create their own drawing book, meet forest animals, and be introduced to traditional and non-traditional sports. To learn more about these free programs, visit your local Indy Library branch or go to indypl.org. Time now for Isaac Hayes and the theme from Shaft, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Another great rock and roll evening in the books. Thank you for joining me, John Leslie, for another awesome Intern Hour. I'm going strong all week long, every night, beginning at 7 p.m., so set your radio dial to 98.9 FM and yank off the knob. Stay gold and keep rockin'. Time for me to rock my way on up to the freeway, so I'll play my final tune of the hour from James Brown here on WYRZ LP and WYRZ.org.
That's the Honeycomb. Before that, the Soul Survivors. I'm Shane Ray. That's going to do it for me on a Tuesday. Thank you so much for letting me ride home with you. It's always appreciated. Coming up next, it is the one, it is the only, it is the John Leslie. That's right. It is the Intern Hour from 7 to 8 o'clock. I'm going to wind things up with Jerry Rafferty on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
Welcome to another rock-filled power hour. Chock full of your favorite artists from the 60s, 70s, and 80s here on the Intern Hour. I'm your host, John Leslie, and I've got a great show lined up for you tonight. That was Stevie Wonder, and later we'll sniff solid gold musical nuggets from the rockiest rolling streams with Al Green, Traffic, and Billy Joel. But first, let's kick off the show with Steppenwolf here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That was another solid gold hit from Little River Band, and I'm John Leslie. Step on in out of the wintry muck. It's time to rock away those wintertime woes with your dial locked at 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Your home for the hottest rock and roll hits of all history. It's time now for Foghat right here on the Intern Hour. Getting ready to learn about watersheds during a free workshop tomorrow night from 6 to 8 at the Birch Room of Washington Township Park, located just east of Avon at 435 Whipple Lane. Sponsored by Hendricks County Soil and Water Conservation District through a Clean Water Indiana grant. This workshop will inform visitors of how treatment of our local watersheds impacts downstream neighbors and aquatic and terrestrial wildlife. Visit our website for more details on how to register for this free workshop. Let's drift away now with another savory single from Ringo Starr here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Hey, this is John Leslie, and it's been a ball and a biscuit rocking along with you this evening to nothing but solid gold selection here on the Intern Hour. Nothing short of a sweet time together tonight. But alas, I must now face the wintry mix as I head for home. So until tomorrow, stay gold and keep rockin'. I'm gonna wind down the hour now with Sylvia, now on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
That's going to do it for me on a Wacky Wednesday. Thank you so much for letting me ride home with you. It's always better when you're driving, especially when the weather is like this. All right, coming up next, we have the one, the only, the John Leslie. That's right, it's the Intern Hour from 7 to 8 o'clock with John Leslie. I'm going to wind things up with REO Speedwagon because this song just says how I feel. It's time for me to fly, baby, on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
Hello, and thank you for joining me this evening. I'm your humble host, John Leslie. You've made it halfway through the week, so now it's time for a treat. Let's sing and stop along to more salivatingly sweet solid gold singles rock and roll in your way tonight here on the Intern Hour. That was Shades of Blue, and coming up, I'll be playing classic hits from The Turtles, Barry White, and Gordon Lightfoot. But first, I'll start us out tonight with a heaping helping of hot and spicy harmony from the man in black himself, Johnny Cash, only on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Keep on kicking it gold school with your old school favorites from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, right here on the Intern Hour. Let's rock out now to another classic composition from Manfred Mann, coming at you on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That is another solid gold hit from BET Express, and I'm John Leslie. Be sure to join us here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org this Sunday, beginning at noon for The Beatles Show with Casey Petrosky, sponsored by Comfort Suites of Brownsburg, where he'll play anything that relates to Beatles music or anything that Beatles music can relate to. You haven't really heard the Beatles until you've heard The Beatles Show. Time now for another classic hit from Sir Paul McCartney here on the Intern Hour. Another terrific evening coming to its close here on the Intern Hour. That was Todd Rundgren, and I'm John Leslie. It's always a pleasure riding the rock and roll rails, bar hopping, tipping, tantalizing, and singing and swinging along to the greatest solid gold rounds ever recorded with you every night. Stay gold and keep rocking. That's gonna do it for me. So I'll wrap up the hour now with Paul Anka right now on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
That's the Intruders, and I'm Shane Ray. That's going to do it for me on a Thursday. Thank you so much for letting me ride home with you. It's always appreciated. Coming up next, it is the one, it is the only, it is the John Leslie, because no one else wants to be. That's right. It is the Intern Hour from 7 to 8 o'clock. I'm going to wind things up with Mr. Stevie Wonder on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Just makes sense. He says, it's that time. Go home.
Hello and welcome to Thursday here on the Intern Hour. I'm your host, John Leslie, and if you're thirsty for only the finest, salivatingly smooth, crisp, and refreshing solid gold singles that will make you say, amazing, then you've come to the right place. That was a hip and happening hit from Van Morrison, and later we'll knock back another rockin' round or two with the OJs, KC and the Sunshine Band, and James Taylor. But first, it's time to tank up with Rare Earth here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That was another great rock and roll classic from the OJs, and I'm John Leslie. As plentiful as the fluffy snowflakes flurrying from above, I'm playing an endless supply of the solid gold classics you love all hour long. Right here on the Intern Hour, it's time to sing another sizzling shanty now with Jake and Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. It's that time of year again when we Hoosiers travel all across Indiana to tap maple trees to gather buckets of sap needed to produce everyone's sweet and sugary seasonal favorite, maple syrup. Join McLeod Nature Park of North Salem March 7th and 14th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for Maple Syrup Days to learn the art of producing your very own yummy syrup during this interactive event. Contact McLeod Nature Park for more details. Keep it finger-licking, lip-smacking sweet with another solid single from James Taylor here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Looking down from my towering office ice-glazed windows high above the hustle and bustle of the city streets below, I'm gazing through the thick and fluffy dark gray clouds while remembering all the sunny and warm time dancing and singing along with you here tonight on the Intern Hour. I'm John Leslie, and it's been a pleasure rocking out together on such an Indiana winter's night. Stay gold and keep rockin'. It's time for me to face the freeze, so I will leave you now with Daz Band here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
Catch all your favorite rock and roll hits right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
That's going to do it for me on a Friday afternoon, Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for letting me ride home with you. I so appreciate that. Coming up next, it is the one, the only, the John Leslie. I'm winding things up with Mr. Tommy Rowe on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
It's just past 7, so it's time for Rock and Roll Heaven. Hello and welcome. I'm your host on the coast, flexing my muscles and fighting off the giant saltwater sea oysters to bring you the biggest, most lustrous and precious pearls that I've meticulously crafted into the rock and roll power hour I call the Intern Hour. That was another crunchy chorus from Frankie Valli, and I'm John Leslie. Get ready to rock the night away with Queen, Steve Perry, and ELO. But first, it's time to rise and shine with Janis Joplin here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Say hey, get ready to rock and roll away to more rip-roaring, relaxing, and refreshing rhythms right here as we catch an electrifying radio wave and surf the blue whitecap curls abounding with another astounding soul-saturated single from the Spinners featuring Dionne Warwick on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That was another solid gold hit from the Yardbirds, and I'm John Leslie. Viewed the works of prominent local African-American artists during the 32nd annual Meet the Artist exhibit, continuing through March at Central Library, downtown Indianapolis. Also, mark your calendar for an evening of cultural entertainment during the exhibit's gala reception Saturday, February 8th, beginning at 6 p.m., and also the special 4th Friday celebration beginning at 6 p.m., March 27th. Call 317-275-4100 to learn more about this free event. Let's keep it classic with the Hollies right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. What an extreme evening celebrating the greatest solid gold rock and roll harmonies with you here tonight on the Intern Hour. I'm John Leslie, wishing you a fantastic Festivus Friday and a wonderful weekend. Until next time, stay gold and keep rockin'. From ELO to REO, let's wind down the work week together now with REO Speedwagon. Keep the fire burning. Now on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
Hey, it's been a pleasure having you here tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, stay gold and keep rockin'.